everybody hear me over here? Decent? Hey, you can scrunch in if you need to. I don't want to yell too loudly.
Come on in, folks. Come on in.
What's that? Yeah, that's somebody else's job, like Sergeant Major. There are three things that happen in the life of a soldier that are really, really cool. One of them is you retire. Congratulations. One of them is you get an award. You hang a colored ribbon on your chest for an experience. And today we recognize a promotion. And the distinguishing feature of all of those is this. When you give an award to somebody, you're recognizing past performance, and you're saying you did something good, and we want to say thank you. When you promote, you're recognizing the future potential that lies within the officer and the family represented today, and the Army, in my judgment, has made an extraordinary smart decision in deciding to promote Tim. And before we go into a lot of what Tim has done that has led him to this very moment, I'd like to recognize some special guests. And I say some because if you were in the room that I was just recently in, where all the good smells are emanating, you would know that there are too many people in there to remember. In the passing glance that I took, it's well attended, and spending special days with special people is a good example of what we're doing today. So first, I want to recognize Joan, and she's here. Gina and Trinity are here, and Tim's parents, Ray, there he is, and Ida are here. And I would also recognize the rest of the family because I can't remember everyone's name, but we have aunts, uncles, we have family friends, we have godparents, and these kinds of things are really an extension of Tim, and we recognize that all of you are here for a very important reason, and that's to support the family and commemorate this occasion. So Tim comes to us today having a long journey, and it's not necessarily measured in terms of distance because he's from right here in Norfolk, as is his family. He's a graduate of ODU, so he's a homeboy, if you will. Which is good because I can't think of any time in my life where I've been stationed really that closely to so much family. And so this has got to be a wonderful experience. But more importantly, the path that has led him to this moment is marked by service, and it takes him through a number of things that I'd like to highlight. First, Tim graduates locally here and decides to join the service. Goes to Fort Jackson for basic and AIT, and is a 71 Lima. I was going to say, somebody out there with a broken toe, a couple of problems. It's a good looking boot, by the way, I like it. So becomes 71 Lima. First duty station is Fort Hood, Texas. Heads down there as part of the first cab, I believe. Yes. And wonderful, wonderful unit. Goes to Germany, to Mannheim and Wiesbaden, and spends time overseas. And that's exciting because although as an active duty soldier I've never been assigned to Germany, my parents were assigned to Germany, and I got to go home for vacation occasionally, and I got to see firsthand just what an exciting assignment Germany can be, and some of you know that better than I do. He follows that up with an opportunity that's very unique, and goes to the Old Guard at Fort Myers.
6 bayonets.
And a fond affinity for the Old Guard for me is that my last assignment was at the Pentagon, and before I left to come to my assignment here, one of the last things I deal with my kids, because I was concerned that the time would leave so fleeting that we were in D.C. we wouldn't see everything. We went to the Tomb of the Unknowns, and if you've ever been there, holy moly. So you have a great affinity for the Old Guard and all that they do, and that's not all they do. They have an extraordinary presence in the military district and of Washington, and it's quite an honor to be a part of that organization. In that capacity, while he's there, the events 9 years ago of 9/11 occurred. And so he's called the service to respond in terms of Noble Eagle, which was the military district of Washington mobilization, if you will, and serves in that capacity as part of that endeavor in response to the attack on the Pentagon. Shortly thereafter, he comes home, and it's Norfolk and JIFCOM, and followed by the recruiting company right here in Norfolk. And then he has the epiphany that I would like to become an officer. And of course, all the soldiers and non-commissioned officers are supposed to say, boo! Boo! Oh, he's a traitor. But from where I'm standing, he sees the light. And he says, you know, there's another challenge out there for me that I'd like to rise to. So he goes to OCS, and for the folks who have been to the Fort Benning School for Boys, know that that can be an extraordinary endeavor. Then he becomes an assistant brigade S1 at Fort Hood, Texas, back at the 41st Fires Brigade. And then he finds himself here in the 93rd. So that's a long way, but yet a very short way from where you began. And again, this is about, you know, recognizing the journey, but the journey that's led you here is simply what is now being bestowed upon you in recognition of what you're going to provide the Army for the rest of these days. And we're going to recognize that potential by promoting it. And it's a real honor. And for all of you who know him, know how what he means to our brigade, how hard he works. My personal interaction with him began with my first being notified that I was coming here, and he extended to me all great courtesies, but moreover he was very personable in saying, hey, you know, I'm your S1 and I'm here to help you and in any way possible. And because of that, I was extremely grateful, and he helped getting me settled on post and my family as well. And so from my personal perspective, it was greatly appreciated for getting us set. So for all of you for being here, this is a long journey that leads here, and we're expecting great and greater things in tradition of the things that you've demonstrated in the past, and it's a great honor. And let's go ahead and post the orders and get this on.
Attention to orders. The President of the United States has reposed special trust and confidence in the patriotism, valor, fidelity, and abilities of Timmy Ray F. Fanugo. In view of these qualities and his demonstrated potential for increased responsibility, he is therefore promoted in the Army of the United States from First Lieutenant to Captain. Promotion is effective 1 September 10, with a date of rank of 1 September 2010, by order of the Secretary of the Army, Gerald T. Meyer, Chief, DA Promotions.
Kiss that.
I'm going to re-administer the oath of office. I state your full name.
I, Timmy Ray Fontemeyer Fanugo,
Having been appointed an officer
having been appointed an officer
in the Army of the United States,
in the Army of the United States,
as indicated above,
as indicated above,
in the grade of captain,
in the grade of captain,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support and defend
that I will support and defend
the Constitution of the United States
the Constitution of the United States
against all enemies,
against all enemies,
foreign and domestic,
foreign and domestic,
that I will bear true faith
that I will bear true faith
and allegiance to the same,
and allegiance to the same,
that I take this obligation freely
that I take this obligation freely
without any mental reservation
without any mental reservation
or purpose of evasion,
or purpose of evasion,
and that I will well
and I will well
and faithfully discharge
and faithfully discharge
the duties of the office
the duties of the office
upon which I am about to enter.